Hi kiddos, this lesson is for Chapter 10, Lesson 4 in your Go Math textbook on page 393, and our focus today is classifying quadrilaterals. And so our essential question is, how can you sort and classify quadrilaterals? Well, first let's look at this word right here, quadrilaterals. We know that quad is a prefix that means four. And so a quadrilateral is any shape that has four sides. A quadrilateral, under our unlock the problem, a quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides and four angles. You can name a quadrilateral by the vertices of its angles. Now, vertices is the plural form of the word vertex. So we have vertex A, B, C, and D here, and they're all together, they're called vertices. And so a quadrilateral has four sides and four angles, and the way that we name it is by its vertices. Now, quadrilateral ABCD is a possible name for the figure shown right here that we're pointing at. But quadrilateral ACBD is not a possible name, since points A and C are not endpoints on the same side. And we have to assume that line segments that appear to be parallel are in fact parallel, which means they continue on and on and on, and they never intersect. The tick marks on the line segment show that they have the same length. So this line segment CD is the same as this line segment AB. So sides AD and BC have the same length, and then sides AB and CD have the same length. But notice that this has two tick marks here. This means that these lines AD and BC are longer or not the same measurement as AB and CD. These are the same because they have one tick mark each, and these are the same because they have two tick marks on them. So these lines are parallel, and these lines are parallel. So let's look at some common quadrilaterals that we will see later on. The first one is a trapezoid, and a trapezoid has a pair of parallel sides. So this line, this side, and this side are parallel, okay? But this side and this side are not. If you continue those lines on, they would at some point intersect, and so they have one pair of parallel sides. That's what a trapezoid is. Now, a parallelogram is the same as this shape that we looked at up here at the top. It has two pairs of parallel sides. So we have this side and this side that are parallel, and then this side and this side that are parallel. And they also have two pairs of sides that are equal length. Okay, so we already talked about how this tick mark and this tick mark, they each have one, so it means that these sides are the same length, and then these sides are the same length as well. So that's a parallelogram. All of these are quadrilaterals. A rhombus has two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so here's a pair and here's a pair. But it also has four sides of equal length. And so notice that there is one tick mark on each one. That means all of these sides are equal in length. And so that's a rhombus. Now when you look at a rectangle, there are some other qualifications that a quadrilateral has to have in order to be a rectangle. It has to have two pairs of parallel sides, which makes it a parallelogram. It also has to have two pairs of sides of equal length. So these two sides have to be equal, and these two sides have to be equal. Okay, so it's not a rhombus, but it is still a parallelogram because it shares the two pairs of parallel sides. So it's a quadrilateral, it's a parallelogram, it's a rectangle, more specifically. And what makes it a rectangle is that it has four right angles. Okay? So a rectangle is a parallelogram and it is a quadrilateral. So that just, all of these shapes are quadrilaterals. That's a general term for any polygon with 4 sides. A parallelogram describes this a little bit more in detail, but a rectangle makes it even more specific. So all rectangles are parallelograms, but not all parallelograms are rectangles because they have to have the 4 right angles, and this one over here, as you can see, does not. All right, so a square is even more specific. A square has 2 pairs of parallel sides, okay? So it meets the qualifications of a rectangle and of a parallelogram. It has 4 sides of equal length, which also means that it is a rhombus as well. But it also has 4 right angles, okay? So this is what makes it a square. So it is a quadrilateral, it is a rhombus, and it is a square. But not all rhombuses are squares, but all squares are rhombuses. So let's look at activity 1. Identify right angles in quadrilaterals. And so we use the quadrilateral color guide over here in this table to color the quadrilaterals. So we need our orange, blue, and red crayons or colored pencils again. Now, the first ones we're looking at are red. They have exactly 4 right angles. So the ones that have exactly 4 right angles, we're going to color red. There's only one of those, and so it is right here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 right angles, and so that one we will need to color red. And I don't see any other ones. This shape, this quadrilateral has 2 right angles, and this one has 1, but none of them have exactly 4. So we're going to pick up our blue crayon or colored pencil, and we're going to color the shapes that have exactly 2 right angles blue. And there's only one shape that has that. This one right here. 1, 2, exactly 2 right angles. So we're going to color it blue. And then the last one is orange. We're going to color the one that has exactly 1 right angle orange, and that is this one. Guys, y'all ignore my coloring skills for some reason. They're not wanting to work well on there. I think these erase that. So we can clean that up a little bit. Okay, so you have 1 red one that has exactly 4 right angles, 1 blue one that has exactly 2 right angles, and 1 orange one that has exactly 1 right angle.